Well, school bells across Delmarva are ringing, welcoming kids back into the classroom with their books, paper and pens, and a lunchbox full of hopefully nutritious food. Of course, some rely on the school cafeteria for opportunities to eat a healthy lunch.
Unfortunately, diets for most U.S. children remain poor. According to the National Institute of Health, the proportion of children with low-quality diets is about 56%. Older children, ages 12 to 19, had worse diet quality compared to younger children, with 67% eating poor quality diets. Good news is those numbers have come down compared to children in 1999.
Now, let's face it, healthy foods aren't always the most exciting for kids. So how can we make meals that kids look forward to eating while keeping them energized and focused for the school day? Well, here to tell us more is Robin Gould. She's a registered dietitian and UMES Dietetics Program Director. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
So do these statistics surprise you any?
They don't. We're going to be talking about children and adolescents today, which includes the ages 2 through 18.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a period of time that's filled with so much change, growth, and transition, but also it's the time when we're forming our dietary patterns that tend to carry with us into adulthood. Now, children are meant to follow the same dietary guidelines as adults that are published by our U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Right.
And these key points are to be choosing a diet and of food and drinks that are nutrient dense and reflect our personal preferences, our culture, and our budgetary considerations. So you're probably wondering, what does this all mean for school nutrition?
Funny, that was my very next question.
So you've already given us some statistics. Well, other data shows that from a youth risk behavior survey collected by the Centers for Disease Control, they found that students with higher grades are more likely to follow a healthy eating pattern than students with lower grades. So they found a correlation between healthy eating habits and higher grades. So this is just another example of why we need to be teaching our children these healthy eating patterns at a young age.
So how do we do that?
Well, there's a lot of things that we can do because kids tend to follow the dietary patterns of their household. So if we are focusing on giving them a variety of nutrient-dense foods from all of the food groups, that's how we build the foundation of positive eating behaviors. Now, kids, especially little kids, can get full fast, and we probably have some picky eaters out there. Mm-hmm. Nutrient density is the ratio between calories and nutrients in a particular food item. So if you take, for example, a donut and a bowl of oatmeal for breakfast,
Ooh, let me pick.
they have around the same calories, so can you guess which one might be more nutrient dense?
Why do I feel like I'm being set up here? I would say the oatmeal.
The oatmeal. And if we can use this type of example as to how we get nutrition into our kids,
right,
then we're off to a good start, because we want them to get the right nutrients before they're full. And this can be particularly important if you have a picky eater.
Yeah.
Now, there are resources to help us as parents feed our children correctly, right?
Yes, there are.
Okay.
We can, and you can find them online through the Dietary Guidelines for Americans. You'll find it broken down by age and by food group.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, these are just recommendations and every child is different. So it's important to pay attention to their hunger and satiety cues. Listen to what they're saying and how they're feeling about the quantity that you're feeding them,
right,
especially if they need more, if they're having a growth spurt. And I would recommend following kids like routine. So choose a breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack times and stick with it as much as you can.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Robin, Thank you so much for all that information, but we're not done with you quite yet.
Okay, now that we've discussed nutrition and good eating habits, we sure are hungry, which is most of the time anyway. What better way to fuel that hunger than with a healthy, food-filling competition between Lisa and me?
Right.
Yeah.
Robin Gould here, back with us again in the lunchroom, which we affectionately refer to as the DelmarvaLife kitchen. Explain to me what we're doing here.
Okay, all right. So we are going to be building these bento lunch boxes for kids.
Okay.
And the best way to go about building this box is to take into consideration our food groups, which are our protein, grains, fruits, vegetables, and dairy.
Okay.
So ideally, we would have all of these in our box. You want them to get to lunchtime and be super excited about opening this box so that you know that they are eating right to be brighter for their school day.
Okay.
I'm not trading.
Now, you know your child the best. The selections that we have here today are only a fraction of what your choices are.
Okay.
If you need some more inspiration, we have a document available for our viewers with lunchbox inspirations from a blog called Mama Bowls. So check it out. But I thought we would have a little contest today to see which of you can build a more balanced lunchbox. So these are our proteins here. We've got an almond butter sandwich on whole grain bread. We've got a turkey and cheese wrap.
Okay.
So the turkeys are protein. We've got some red pepper hummus here. So that's our protein group.
Okay.
Now fruit, kids love fruit because it's sweet and it's filled with lots of vitamins and minerals and fiber. And it doesn't have to be fresh. We do have some fresh grapes. It can be applesauce. This is unsweetened applesauce. And it can be dried fruit. Right. Okay, and then we have our veggies. We've got some yellow peppers, cherry tomatoes, some cucumbers. And then I don't like to pack a lunch without a treat because what child doesn't want to have a treat? And it could be something as simple as chocolate chips, or I found these kid protein bars that have 10 grams of protein, but the flavor's cookies and cream, so it's like a treat.
Okay.
And then we're not making any of their drinks today, but always pack your child an insulated bottle to put some water, low-fat milk, or 100% fruit juice.
All right. So then our
Okay.
job is to start.
Yeah, so
to
the
put
goal is to build a balanced box. Maybe if you know a child in your family, or maybe it's a neighbor, think about that child as you're building the box, things that they might like.
Okay.
Okay?
Shall we start?
Do we
Because
have
if you need extra spoons.
do we have a time reference here? Are we limited by time?
No, there's no time.
Well, our producer
Okay.
would disagree with
So,
that.
hey,
but
the show's over. We got to move on. Okay. All right. I'm going to see if I can just jump in here.
So the goal again is to make sure that you're including something from every food group. And sometimes this might be a combination of the foods. So the turkey and cheese wrap, you've got grains, protein, and calcium all right in that wrap.
Do I have to be a scientist to be able to do this?
Absolutely not.
I'll be honest with you. Your references here are way beyond anything that I know. Maybe I just haven't been studying the right things.
Well, that's why we have the inspiration list available to help you along.
Right?
But I do like these boxes because
Yeah, they are nice.
once you put the lid on, the items are secure,
Right.
so they don't leak out. These boxes, I found them on Amazon.
Yeah.
They can go in the dishwasher. They can go in the microwave.
Oh, good. Because there's so many things you are not supposed to put in the microwave anymore.
Exactly.
All right.
okay.
But they are BPA free.
That's important.
BPA is the bad thing. All right.
Okay.
We're going to move this along quickly.
I think you guys are doing well.
I think bit of a fruit. Okay. Grain, vegetables.
I'm not doing that good, and I know it.
protein. Okay. I think I got it.
Okay, well, let's see. You've got a few choices of protein. You've got your treat in there. You've got your fruit, your vegetables, your dip. I think you did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
You get an A. And you even have some whole grain chips in there for dipping. And let's see, you're doing well. You've got your protein, you've got your whole grains, you've got your fruit, your vegetables, and some dip. The only thing you might want to add to this box is some kind of treat.
A treat.
Yeah.
Well, see, I thought the treat would be throwing the grapes at the other students, but maybe that's something.
Okay.
We'll put in a few of those.
So I think you both did very well, and I hope you enjoyed that little competition.
I like that. That was
fun.
fun.
And it is easier than I originally thought. I mean, you don't have to know. I don't have to be a registered dietitian to be able to do this.
No, you just need to know what your child likes and make sure, again, that you're giving them that variety that they need in order to get the nutrients in. And if they have a balanced lunch, it's going to keep them more energized for the school day.
Yeah.
Robin, thank you so much for this little drill. It was very eye-opening. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Jimmy's already starting on his.